Hello, fine folks watching us here on Speed Gaming 3 for the live show, or later on YouTube, as the case may be. Hope it is a wonderful time for you, wherever you are, and we are excited for some Mario Maker. Give me 1 second as I troubleshoot a tech issue here. And we have our runners getting the levels ready. Meanwhile, I am joined tonight by Zero Planes, who was a participant in this tournament. How you doing tonight, Zero?
Hello, I'm doing great. I'm really looking forward to watching these two great runners. We've got the number 1 seed, Dobbs, versus the number 3 seed, germdove. And it's going to be a pretty close match. Both of them have been scoring. I think germdove is scoring about an average of 11.5 in the tournament, versus Dobbs has had just one match because he had one bye with 14. So I think it could go either way. I'm excited to watch both of these players play, but also it's going to be an exciting match because they're both really good and really close.
I don't think it's any accident that you see these two in here. There's others who certainly could have made it as well. Wouldn't have been any surprise to have you as part of these finals, but some great runners participated, and setup looks good here. So we should be off pretty soon now.
Dobbs showing his real controller off on stream.
Runners getting ready. So the first level they're going to play here, Snow Helmet, Fluffy Air Travel, and then 2-3. It's actually Japanese text than 2-3, but I can't exactly write down Japanese text, so we make do sometimes. But these should be 3 pretty good levels to test these runners. We did go for a little bit lower clear rate on a couple of these than the others. So Fluffy Air Travel is actually only around a 9% clear rate. Snow Helmet's 13. You know, these are still within reason of what we've been targeting in these races, but designed to perhaps offer a little bit more challenge, especially in the second round where they're not going to get as many attempts per level.
The first round, what they're going to be doing is they're going to play each of these levels one after another, and then the first to finish is the player that wins that round and gets the points, right?
Correct. And if you win the blind section by more than a 10% time, you get a bonus point for that. So you've been in this format. What goes through your mind when you're looking at these levels blind?
The biggest thing is not dying, because while you're optimizing, you can die, you can restart. First going to the blind, it's okay, I gotta go fast because I know my opponent's gonna be going fast, but one death is really can turn the tides. That can be 30 seconds, that can be a minute.
We got these skewers, but our runner's able to go fast and avoid them. Dobbs isn't taking the time to check these question blocks for power-ups, and it looks like a little technical issue there for germdove, but he caught up with us, so all is well. Nice thing about having that cape, though, is you can damage boost out of flight without actually losing the power-up, so it's kind of like having an extra one.
I thought he was going to do that going through those spike pillars, but then he ended up taking damage a little bit later on a Goomba.
Just a little bit of a puzzle at the end of this section where they've got to get over to the key. germdove has it figured out. Dobbs maybe took him just a second or two longer to process it, but that gets him the first checkpoint.
They're just a couple seconds apart hitting that first checkpoint.
How brave do you get when you see those question blocks? Do you check them for power-ups? Do you try and just keep going and hope the level cooperates?
If I can take 1 damage, like if I've got a mushroom or something, I'm probably going to skip it. That's my thinking. Unless, like, it seems like the type of level that's going to lock me. Oh, germdove falling back down. And now they're almost frame tied.
Now this was clear checked
Nope.
in testing, so we know it's a very doable level. It's just they had to figure out the rhythm, and they're almost in sync going into this pipe. And that's the second checkpoint. Germdove has not... Well, okay, we got a little lock up there. He did go back for it. I couldn't imagine not getting a checkpoint there. A lot of ice here. You gotta be careful with that slippery ice. This is a multi-path level. Actually, I believe they're going a different way than I did.
Looks like germdove is trying to fly up, see if that gives him some way to get around this section, but no, he lost his shellmet. That's going to cost him like 20, 30 seconds.
Especially going back for it, because that's a lot. Okay, he decides better of
he's
it.
changing his mind.
If you can get back to it quickly.
Oh, wow.
All right, he just had a checkpoint not long ago, so that's not that bad, but Dobbs does take an advantage into the third level as a result. Well, if he can shell jump, he can get that feather, and he's going to try for it. Now, that's a case of Kaizo was not required for this level, as promised. But if you can do it, so much the better for you.
Sometimes the cheese is very helpful. Looks like on Dobbs' side, we got a low gravity level.
Oh, yes.
It's like going to be twirling over long sections.
This was one of my absolute favorites to play. Now, the motion, the appearance of Luigi is pretty slow, but I'm sure you've done this with New Soup Tech. The inputs are near constant in this level. You are as active in this as any platformer you've ever. In particular, the art of this is to use multiple spin buttons, and that's absolutely what Dobbs is doing there. He's using 2, if not more, to control that. And there's going to be a lot of room to optimize based on your falling speed. Little wall jumping here, classic New Soup.
Nice and low gravity because you don't have to do the ground pound cancel and turn back. You can just go over to the side and do the wall jump.
And plenty of 1-ups for the endless player. That's the clear for Dobbs. 4 to 31 range, it looks like.
Made it.
Let's see. Time's not placed in the spreadsheet yet. And I think germdove is having some sudden internet issues. Let me see if we got any. No update on that right now. But I think it's just some internet connection issues. Unfortunate time for that to happen. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was only the second level. I'm mixed up.
Yes, second level. One final level.
Alright.
Looks like germdove is back. Still in that first level, but made it past that P-Switch swamp section.
Now, this one has a clear condition, so no checkpoint, which is a little unusual for a red coin level such as this is. You've got to collect enough coins, the 60 minimum, and you have to collect the red coins to be able to get through the key door. I will say that when it comes time to optimize this, there are more coins than are necessary in this level. So there's going to be some room to play with the optimization.
Also, the lack of a checkpoint could mean that you could get set back pretty far, and that could give germdove an opportunity to catch up here.
Oh, I don't think Dobbs saw the clear condition. He left those 3 easy coins behind. I don't think he's seen the clear condition. Now, the good news is that will not cost him as long as he is observant the rest of the way. But just the fact that he didn't get those, that tells me he's not noticed the clear condition. That is a big factor.
Hopefully he won't have to go back and hunting, because he might not know which ones he got the coins from.
As long as he gets...
I think there's a 10 coin there. Yeah, he's getting it. He's getting it.
And he's over the minimum now. There are unlimited fire flowers, by the way, but you have to run to the left to get them. And there's the extra 10 at the end, which, if he observed carefully, he'll note that that is a thing he can work into the optimization. So there's room for damage boost strats, there's room to skip coins, coin pickups and get that 10 at the end if you think it's faster. There's going to be some different choices for optimization, but they're there.
Looks like germdove has about 10 more seconds to clear that third level. Otherwise, he's going to be going down 2 points in round 1.
It looks like he just had a little trouble with that ice physics.
He got stuck in that one section, and that did it.
Dobbs is switching to Toadette. What do you think? Will the mojo change with the costume and character change? And germdove has found a little bit of cheese going backwards, although it's not big cheese, honestly.
That pipe seemed to take him the same spot.
It takes you to the same spot because they're the entry-exit pipes. However,
they're right next to each other.
They are right next to each other, and if getting in and out of them that way is faster, that could be substantial.
That's a good point. And so he's probably prepared to do this in the optimization round. I'm wondering if he'll go for this level first, because he seems to be maybe doing a little bit of routing already.
Okay, I'm going to sound like a contrarian. I'd do it last. I would wait until deeper in the run rather than put that time on the spreadsheet and let him know it's there.
Keep your cards close to your chest. Not know you have a secret strat waiting.
That's what I'm thinking. Even if you get solid times on the other 2 levels first and give yourself a couple of attempts to pull this off, I wouldn't really want to put up that great time until the last 10 minutes. Because look at this, he's going to be able to grab that red coin, and he could even skip this jump and go right back to the end, but that's a huge time save in that room that we've already seen.
And there's a 10 coin after the key door. Oh, he missed it. Oh, here's the downside. He missed one, but he doesn't know which one it is.
Well, now he can see it as...
not that one.
All right, he knows it's red now because of if he was observant. Chad enjoying Dobbs' hat. How can you not? Now, we saw the little... in the background, we could see it was the red pipe that he hasn't gotten. So he's going to have to redo these challenges the intended way. This is definitely going to be a 10% win for Dobbs, and he's going to get the extra point.
It's interesting that they're not consistently colored from the left to the right side. Or are they?
I think they are. All right, so you can see the pressure is going to be on in this one because there's a lot of room to route it, even if it's not necessarily the most technically challenging. When you're trying to do that as quickly as possible, can you feel the pressure already?
I think levels 1 and 3 are going to be tricky, and then level 2 is kind of going to be something that they're going to be fighting for frames. It seemed like something that you could get down pretty exactly. So I wonder which one of them is going to go for that first.
That one is one of the longer ones, so it's probably a case where we'll see them both put up a good solid run through it that they're happy with the time, and then move on to the others, and probably not contest that one too much. But at the same time, that opens you up for your opponent to go in and maybe steal an extra point if they see something. Because there's going to be a lot of room to manipulate that one with the snowfall. Not snowfall, slowfall. We've got snowfall, too, in the ice level.
So it looks like germdove is headed into played courses. Dobbs will want to head into played courses. Otherwise, you don't get to see your times at the end of the level.
And that is a big factor. So, if you don't know how to do the new Super Mario Brothers tech, this level is going to be extremely hard, so it's understandable why the clear rate is sub 10%. Because you have to know how to use the spin tech to slow your fall, or it's not going to go well. But it is a level designed to teach you as well if you know the indicators.
And spikes are scary.
How long do you think? How long on average do you think it takes people to pick up on what the indicators are trying to tell you in a level?
Lifetime. I mean, some indicators are good, some indicators are bad. I I still don't understand some indicators. This is an interesting issue. Dobbs does not have his courses he just played in his played courses.
Yeah, we gave him a quick solution there, so it should be fine.
Okay.
So his issue is he can't see them under the played courses, and he needs to be able to efficiently move between them, and also to be able to see those times, as you mentioned. Chat says he should have had his trophy in the background. I'm not sure which trophy. But if there's a trophy, why is it in the background? I want to know. All right, so what we're going to attempt here is just have him look at the levels again, enter them, and then exit. So as long as he doesn't play them, no harm, no foul. But this should get them to propagate into his played list. All right, looks good. So we should see them ready to go in just a little bit. Which of these levels do you think you could go the fastest on? As far as relative to the competition, what do you think would be your best advantage?
I'm thinking the snow helmet level. There's a lot of chaos in that level, and I think that like quickly coming up with a way to like run through and around that stuff is something that I'd be pretty good at. I think level 2 would probably be my worst. Something that's going to be like precisely hanging around spikes and like the exact path. There's probably going to be ground pounds in there. That's probably where my weakest would be. Versus, yeah, I think 1 would be my strongest. Looks like
Yep.
we have a golden kappa in chat.
Thing going on with that on Twitch.
Oh, broken.
Twitch event.
Oh.
It's intentional.
All right then.
See, now you're getting a better taste.
Yeah.
That's what you get for calling attention to it.
I shouldn't have. Dobbs went back into it in core spot.
I think he's liking it, so showing his like. And hey, maybe you just like the levels. We tried to make sure you had some pretty good levels to play in this tournament.
I remember earlier on there was talk about making the entire course list available for people to play. Is that something that still might happen?
Very much so. I just didn't want to give it away before the finals so that we had the finals list in there. Plus, also, if I needed a backup, because I'll publish the backup list with everything else so that if people are enjoying these levels, they'll see all of the ones that we considered. So you'll even see...
yeah, this is a great level list.
From the play-in, not play-in, from the seeding round, we had 20 levels. That was out of like 30. So I'll post all 30, and we'll have those in the SG Live Discord. All right, this is the start of round 2.
In this round, they have 30 minutes to get their fastest personal best on all 3 levels, and points are awarded individually for whoever does better on each of those levels.
And you can budget that time however you'd like. So, what goes through your mind when you're thinking about that? Are you thinking, okay, I want to go 10 minutes each level? Are you thinking, I want to put 20 minutes into my strongest level and split 10 among the others? What kind of thought process do you take?
I try to get something that like a good time on the hardest level so that it's unlikely that they'll beat me by 10% first. Don't spend a lot of time on that, and then spend the biggest chunk of my time on my strongest, and then just get some time on the third. And after that, it depends on what my opponent's times are. Like, is there something that I need to like? Can I do a quick optimization to like take a point from them and gain a point, or are they still struggling to beat any of my times? And should I refine something that I already have?
All right, germdove has put up a 54-7. So you can see there is that 10% to save versus the world record because it's a 50.
But he's just going to stick with that for his first time and then move on to 2-3. The level that he did a little bit of routing with at the end of round 1.
I feel like this is going to be his strongest level initially, but if he gives away the secret sauce, if you will, and just puts up a monster time, then that's going to let Dobbs know there's something to do here. Now, that doesn't mean Dobbs will automatically figure it out right away, but once you know there is something that major to save time, you're probably going to look for it a lot more.
Dobbs moving pretty quickly through the snow level. Looks like he's been putting some thought into this in round 1, and already has his mind made up where he's going to go.
Using that cape pretty effectively to save on some jumps. And a lot of damage boosting going on here from germdove. Well, that's helpful to get the coins, but you've also got to sit through the animation every time you're re-picking up the fire flower. And I don't think you want to risk, even on a quote-unquote easy challenge, not getting the power-up, because there's always the chance of damage, and you'd hate the game over. Or level over, or whatever we're calling it.
Lose a great time right at the end of a level. Cost you a minute of your time.
Dobbs on Snow Helmet.
Nice level.
He puts up a 2-minute, and I believe when we started, that was a 2:30 world record. So he took 30 seconds off of it. That's a very substantial improvement.
germdove coming in, finishing his second level.
Of course, you don't always see people grinding for world records like our runners are doing, and that makes a big difference. But usually an existing world record gives you a flavor of the potential. How about a 108 on that level for germdove?
New world record so far.
So each of our runners has taken 30 seconds off the world record of a different level. Just let that thought sink in for a moment. Think these two are ready to game? Right now, they've each got a 2-pointer up on the board, but they're each got to work on a level to get that clear.
Dobbs playing reasonably conservatively. It looked like there's a few risks that you could take by skipping jumps, especially in that end section there.
In particular, I
See
think
on to the third level if he's just trying to get times up first, or if he's actually doing optimization.
yeah, and even if you just played it as though at a 51, that's a great time, and it's close-ish to the 10%. Well, I guess it's only about 2 seconds, so not really. 1.8 right now. He'd have to do about 5 seconds, so it's still pretty far off of the 2, but it's a solid lead right now.
It seems like that's what both players are doing. They're just getting a time on all 3 levels rather than refining any one. That they haven't focused on a particular level yet. They just got one clear each.
They haven't done a whole lot of exploration. Well, actually, I say that. I was going to say there is a Yoshi in this level that neither of them have gotten, but you can see the Yoshi. You just have to fly up there to get it. But they're both opting to use Cape Tech to fly instead. Ooh, Dobbs got brave coming into this room without the Fire Flower, because I don't think he can get the coin. Got the red coin, but I don't think he can get past those Pokies with Small Mario. Though I'd be highly entertained if he did.
Looks like he's not using Germdove's strat to use the pipes in the first room. He's going over to the right room. You're right. He does. Dobbs or Germdove does have that secret tech.
Well, right now, Dobbs hasn't put up the time on this level yet. I think once he does that and sees the comparison is when he's going to go cheese hunting. Because it's not always going to be obvious to you that somebody cheesed just because of the time. That's actually a fine. Yeah, Germdove, you're good. He thought he'd fallen into the pit, but there was the exit.
I thought he fell.
So a 2:12 versus that monster 2-minute that Dobbs put up. Which means, by the way, if Germdove had played that level first, he would have broken the world record by 18 seconds, which would have looked impressive.
Wow. Germdove opting not to refine his snow helmet level, but instead going to fluffy air travel. He knows that he has the slower time, but he's still going into fluffy air travel.
He cut it where it's not a 10% win, and that one's going to be pretty hard to do a 10% win, given how far it is. And remember, that's the one that Germdove died on when we were doing the blind levels. So I just feel like that is what's the term I'm looking for? Just kind of a misfit situation. It doesn't quite fit his play style.
It's a big investment. Each attempt is 2 minutes versus this level is just 1 minute, and you might die early.
What's funny is that level is clearly designed with the indicators for you to wall jump, but it's actually quite easy to not need that wall jump. And I should know because I didn't on the clear check.
Oh, into the pit.
Yeah,
on Germdove's side.
Off, he didn't quite get the jump off soon enough. Dobbs is small for the fire bars, so he's got to be mindful here. It's going to be a really tight...
So he took one more damage boost that he meant to right there, so he couldn't come down and take another damage boost.
Trying to save time, not re-picking up the fire flowers. And this is probably the room to do it in. He can skip that 10 coin. He totally can skip it if he remembers there's one at the end, but he goes for it anyways. I don't know which one's faster, honestly, because you'd have to turn back to get the one at the end, but there'd be no enemy to deal with either.
Looks like he's refining everything in the level except taking those pipes in the beginning. We'll see how close that gets him to Germdove.
That's how close
it takes like 2 seconds.
The Germdove didn't optimize his route, I don't feel like. He did go through, he used his cheese, he put up a great time, but just in rest of the execution, Dobbs did a great job.
Looks like Germdove takes the lead on level 2 fluffy air travel by a little over a second. Dobbs still working on level 3, and Germdove going into it too. And that's a good point in chat. He missed this jump like he did right there on his personal best time.
Well, Dobbs just figured it out, so there just went Germdove's biggest advantage. But does Dobbs have enough time to route this out and figure out his strengths? He's got 20 minutes, so a good amount of time on the clock, but how much does he invest in this level? And he may
He's got
not
these pipes
first pipe.
there, but did he get the first pipe? There's that first pipe that's one block higher that germdove got. That might save a couple seconds. Oh, missing that jump.
So this is the finals of Mario Maker. We wanted to make sure these runners had a good challenge, so do you think we gave them a fair challenge here?
I think these are great levels. They all give you something slightly different to optimize. In level 1, there's enemies and platforms. This one is kind of like a lot of turnbacks and corridors to go through. And then the fluffy air travels, dodging spikes, and the slow motion gravity.
Now, interesting, Dobbs, he found he could go through the back with the pipes, but he now has come back to running all the way to the right to do it. So, is he going to try and min-max this by picking which pipes he goes through from the left here and which from the right?
Looks like he's just heading over to the right. Maybe he feels that the pipes on the left aren't consistent enough.
He's got the key. 4 seconds to get to the end within a minute 2. I think this is going to be about a second slow.
Looks like a good time to me. We'll see when the screen comes up. And another world record. So he's good with that time. He's moving on to fluffy air travel.
8-second lead on that level looks really good right now. Germdove is going to have to earn this. But how's he going to do on this time?
This will be germdove's first completed run since his first run, I believe.
And he fires back strong. Coming in with a 57.
He saved 10 seconds on his first time.
I just love how beautiful that level is for this challenge. I mean, that's one, if somebody made it for this challenge, I don't think they could have made it as beautiful as that one came out. Because it's just perfect for being easy enough for a lot of attempts and a lot of tries, and to fool you into a false sense of security, but the ultimate time limit is your opponent, so how fast can I do this versus how fast can somebody else do this?
I'm also pretty excited about fluffy air travel. I'm waiting to see if any of the two runners come up with some specific tech that involves skipping any of these sections, because you can really float a long ways.
In particular, the less you slow your falling, the faster you're going to go. So there's room to do that. For safety purposes, you're going to go very, very slow on your falling. But where you need to go down, anytime you cannot slow fall, it's going to be faster, because slowing is slow.
This section, obviously. Oh, I'm going to finish it. All right.
Yeah, that's something that comes up, especially in the optimization phase, is it is faster to start over than it is to see the goal. So if you're not happy with the time, it's faster to just go back to the beginning and start a new attempt than it is to take the goal, which would cost you another 10, 15, or 20 seconds. Because you've got the goal animation, you've got the time screen coming up, you've got to reload the level anyways, so it's probably a net.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, how about
like Dobbs finding a way to skip that section? There we go. That's what I wanted to see.
That's a big skip.
And germdove skipping the Thwomp P-switch section on the snowy level by running in more quickly. That's gonna save the whole P-switch timer where you're just standing there.
Our runners are taking care of business. They earn their way into these finals, and they are earning their points in this finals. All
I
right,
think we're
we're
going to see 2 new records here.
in sync world records and different. Not quite on Fluffy,
Oh,
but a 155 on Snow Helmet for germdove.
he's got a great strategy. Skipping that P-switch timer, that's huge. I think they're both going to be going over to Fluffy air travel now. No, germdove going back instead to 2-3. Maybe going for the 2-point spread instead of the 1 point.
It's an interesting choice. Now, he does have the lead on all 3 levels as we are right now. But it could even just be he wants to defend and lower this a little bit more. Or hey, maybe he just liked this level the best and thought it'd be fun to play again.
He thinks he's won it. He's just having a good time now.
Dobbs going for this big skip here. He's got it. He doesn't have to hit those on-off switch. He skips a whole section there, and he's to the checkpoint. Monster skip there for Dobbs.
Great strategy.
Oh, and cheese is real.
Does he have to go under that those on-off switches? You can hit the on-off switch right past the checkpoint by ground pounding. I wonder if he's going to try that and go over there as well, because that seemed like the slowest section of the level.
Now this time he didn't use his cheese. I wonder if he forgot where he was doing that at, or he didn't think it was that much slower, but it has to be slower because he was able to run instead of floating. Actually, no, that shouldn't be too much different. Other than you could triple jump up there, and that would be faster.
It looks like he's abandoning those skips, just going vanilla strategies.
Maybe he wanted to work on this section a little more first because he has, even with the checkpoint, you got to be able to first try it to be able to get a competitive time. New
We're
world.
shaving another couple seconds.
Boy, that's close to the 10% mark. He'd have to take at least another half second off.
Looks like he's going to keep trying.
Dobbs missed that world record by just over a tenth.
But he did take the lead on that level by 0.1 second. Point going over Dobbs' direction. Putting pressure on germdove. See if he's going to go back to it. Now they're both going into 2-3. Got a lot of work here. I don't think he knows the strategy about jumping into those pipes. At least the first one. We have seen him jump into the 2nd through 5th pipe.
And now some of them I'm not sure it matters, / it probably is better to go in the right side pipe because of where it stops you, where it starts you, and you need both the red coin and the regular coins out of each room. Now here...
Oh, that is something they could be looking at.
Big advantage to go from the left side section coming in the exit. There's a big advantage to that one on the blue pipe. On this one, it's probably neutral to better to... probably a little bit better to come out the exit side. This one, it would just be whatever's closer. But you're going to have to go out the exit either way, which lets you re-grab the fire flower. And then green 2, for lack of a better term. Now he has himself a key and enough coins to complete the level. Neither of them have tried a coin skip yet and pick up that 10 at the end.
You do have to run back. It is a little awkward. I do wonder if it's worth it.
I'm more curious that no one experimented with it yet, but like this one with the pokies. Because you could skip the damage boost. They're both taking the damage boost instead of killing them for speed.
Which obligates them to go get another fire flower or skip a damage boost.
Right. So if you didn't take the damage on the pokies, and then you damage boosted on the fire bars, then picked up the 10 at the end, that I think is the scenario that is really interesting. Can't say it's faster, I don't know, but it makes me wonder. So chat, hope you're feeling the hype right now. We got some finals going on here. This is Mario Maker for SG Live. Second year in a row we had a Mario Maker tournament. My company here in the booth is Zero Planes, who was a big part of that first tournament. And was a big presence in this one as well. So thank you for joining me tonight, by the way.
Yeah, it's been fun doing commentary, watching these guys, and it's a really cool format. We get some really nice levels pre-selected and great competitors to run against.
All right, 8 minutes left. You're not going to get that many attempts on these levels now when even the fast ones are costing you a minute. So that's more like a minute 10 to 20 for loading the levels in and out. I think they're all in on this level right now. I don't really see them going back to another level unless this is the last attempt.
I'd be surprised if we didn't see germdove at least put one more attempt into fluffy air travel, because he's probably thinking like, I've got this level, I've got a pretty refined time, but I've lost the point in fluffy air travel that if I just save 0.1 seconds, if you just repeat your previous performance and get a little lucky, you can take that back.
And we've seen that lead going into expert be so important. germdove, his semifinal match, he took a commanding lead into expert, and I believe was actually outscored by a level on the endless play. So he won that match because he took the lead in there. That's what they're fighting for, right?
Looks like Dobbs saved a couple seconds, but it's not going to be enough to swing the point. I think it's probably going to put the 2 points out of reach for germdove.
58, 54. I mean, you have to shave another second minimum. Actually, I suppose a second and a half now. Yeah, taking that extra 2 seconds off was a big deal for Dobbs. Fire bars, by the way, on a global cycle, so potentially if you did the pipes in a different order, you could catch them in a different motion.
That is an interesting idea. I actually didn't know that.
I catch a lot of
germdove getting another clear.
Alright, for germdove, a new record. And that's a 10%er.
Well played.
And I fully support the decision that he's going on to another level now and let that stand. And if Dobbs takes a point off and makes it 1 instead of 2, what are the chances he's going to outscore that time? That was a monster.
But this is a surprising choice. Instead of going to fluffy air travel, he's going to snow helmet.
Oh, a 5-second lead on 2 minutes. I guess he would need about 12 seconds for the extra point. Or this is a meta play, and he thinks Dobbs is more likely to come back here than anywhere else. Because that 5...
He did have a very strong P-switch strat. I don't remember if the rest of his attempt was clean. It could be that he had kind of a sloppy rest of the level, but that P-switch strategy really saved him a ton of time. Maybe he's thinking, I probably have 12 seconds.
What I was wondering on a meta level is if he's seeing that 5 seconds is a lower percentage of time than it would be on any other level. So theoretically, that's where Dobbs has the most time to save if he comes back here.
It's also because you get to finish your last attempt. Playing the 2-minute level last also makes sense because you get the most additional time.
Tied 3-all as it stands right now. Germdove doing some great movement through the munchers, but he ran on top of the pipe, which slowed him down a little bit because the power-up won't spawn. Gotta give it enough room. Germdove, of course, skipped the checkpoint because when you're fighting for world records, you don't need no stinking checkpoints.
Oh, wasn't happy with that part, though.
Bonked a little bit on the Cape flight. He could theoretically start one more attempt after this. Probably not two unless they were very quick. Dobbs is either all in on this level or he's going to make one attempt on another level after this try. Because I just don't see that there's enough time to play this level twice and go into another level. Oh, he tried the turnback strats that time, but he did not get the jump.
Oh.
Can we make that jump? That's a tough jump. Oh, there's a hidden coin.
There we go.
Now does he have a plan that works? Bet he wishes he had found that sooner. Now, this was part of the plan in choosing these levels, by the way. They don't have... Because these are relatively longer levels than we've seen in other rounds, they don't have as much time to go back and put attempts into these levels. If these were 30-second levels where they could put a lot of attempts in, then they'd have plenty of time to budget for each level. But now the pressure's on, because that 30 minutes is only going to stretch so far when it's a minute per attempt.
It really makes you strategize based on what your opponent's doing. What am I going to be able to do in time? How much time do I have left?
And again, as it stands, we are square tied up. You could theoretically cape through here and not need the P-balloon, but the P-balloon strat is a little bit smoother. It might be time for germdove to start this one more time. Definitely an opportunity there for Dobbs to start this level one more time, but now I definitely believe Dobbs is all in here and can't go into another level.
This looks like a very clean run for both of them right now.
And that time he knows where the clear is, just has to not fall in the pit. That is a compelling time he's put up.
See, what's it going to be? Ooh.
It's a little slower. It is,
but he is going to shave a point off of germdove's side because it's no longer 10% or more. So that was an important improvement.
And that was a world record for germdove. A monster time put up actually takes him to 10%. Dobbs has got one try to take that back.
And germdove spending his final couple seconds to start fluffy air travel, see if he can take that level back. Wow. Huge changes right at the last second.
What a last minute for both runners. Dobbs making a point difference, germdove making a point difference back the other way. So it ended up being neutral, but just think about for both if they hadn't done that.
Oh, and that's going to be time for germdove. We'll get to finish this one attempt. He's hoping he can save a couple more seconds to prevent germdove from getting that extra point for 10% or more time. So he's going to need save about just a couple seconds.
Yeah, it's such a big number, but 13 seconds, basically, if he takes it to a 12 or less, then it's probably compelling. But what we're watching for is when he gets to that P-switch section. That was the biggest time save we saw for germdove.
Mm-hmm.
Very clean through there. Didn't even have to damage boost. He does damage boost there. So we go to endless tied up.
Exciting. You'd love to see it. The finals, going into the final round tied up, where they get 20 minutes to play as many levels in Endless Expert as they want, or as they can. They skip as many times as they want. Each clear is 1 point.
I have to share this because this is a great analysis and summary of what we just saw. Fiesel's in communication with the runners. He coordinates when they start things like that. And when they finished, he said, intense round, almost wore a hole in those spreadsheet spells. I mean, that's a pretty accurate summary of what we just watched.
Yep.
And these two have given us a great show so far. So please show love to the runners. We've had great runners throughout this tournament. And you've got links to their Twitch channels. If you're enjoying this content, there are a bunch of great Mario Maker players in here. My co-common included. In fact, you've been all over SG Live. You did some SMB3. You did that crowd control earlier this week.
Oh, yeah. Crowd control is always so much fun. I love it when people get to mess with your game, send boss bass after you, soft lock you. It's like a race, but like extra chaos.
And helper frog suits.
Oh, yeah. I was actually really excited one time I got a Karibo's boot, and I was going to be able to do an extra skip in one level that would actually have saved time. I don't think they intended that, but I screwed it up.
So they get a little break before they have to do this last section because it's an intense couple of rounds, and we want them to play at their best. Dobbs has abandoned Toadette. Well, you know, Toadette didn't necessarily serve him well in the optimization phase. germdove got 3. Dobbs only got the 1. So trying to change up the mojo with Luigi. Or did he go Mario? No, Mario. Okay. I thought he was going Luigi.
I didn't see it. I heard it. Okay.
Well, it looks like Mario.
Yeah,
so I think that's what he did. So Endless Expert for Phase 3. We are tied up. So whoever gets the most clears wins. And I'm going to say this right now. I bet you Dobbs is not hoping for sudden death.
We have a level already picked out for sudden death.
Yeah, sweet. Dude.
Dobbs was not excited about it.
So if they have to complete that level, they will have to earn it. Very much so. So both of the runners going from existing save files. Now, pretty often we see a contrast between runners here, where one is starting from a fresh game, one is starting from an existing one. We don't want our runners to have to lose any kind of streak that they have going, of course, so they're allowed to continue. We just count levels that they clear from here. But every time you get a new clear, you're going to have a high score animation. And I've never figured out which one actually treats you better. Having the lives in reserve, both of our runners having over 60, versus dealing with that new game, a new high score animation every time you clear a level.
I think it really comes down to what levels you're picking. Unless you're really dumping a lot of lives into a level, which you shouldn't be doing. Each death costs you about 10 seconds. You're probably not going to game over even on a fresh file, so 15 seconds. But if you are going to go for, say, like a one-shot level, like a couple tricky levels where it's 5 seconds, but you're going to die a lot, so it really could go either way.
20 minutes of endless. Both of these players are ready to do this. I think they were both practicing on endless earlier today just to keep fresh and keep the Mario skills strong. All right, so quick pauses. What are they looking for in those pauses?
The main thing they're looking for is the world record. Also, the other thing that you can look at is number of hearts and number of attempts. High attempts mean that world record is probably near perfect. High hearts means it's probably not a trolley level. I've heard a lot of runners go for about a minute to a minute 30 maximum in terms of world record, otherwise skip. But it depends. If it's got no attempts on it, you might go for a risk, or you might say, look, this looks like something sketchy, and I'm out of here.
Bit of a maze with a hard timer there for Germdove, and the walls came crushing in on him. He did have a checkpoint. Oh, Dobbs did go Luigi. We got dueling Luigis. So Luigi wins no matter what, which means Luigi wins by doing nothing.
Luigi also loses.
But he wins.
It's true.
Winged Boom Boom is dispatched, and Dobbs is gonna have our first clear.
Very nice. Oh, rough.
Well, not
Looks
that
like there's a checkpoint there.
checkpoint right at the end there, so he's gonna be able to run right into it. Didn't quite get the one up, but that's not the biggest deal in this. They both have their clear. What kind of pace?
49-second level. Sorry?
What kind of pace do you expect them to go at with these clears?
I think about one level every 2 minutes is pretty good. That's sort of what Dobbs was averaged on his first game. germdove averaged a little bit less, but I think that's still pretty reasonable.
Dobbs being a thinker, and he gets through that section with his mushroom intact. It's an interesting SMW world here, and he says, I'll take this spring, thank you, but he's not going to need it. That is clear number 2 for Dobbs. Are there any things you see that are insta-skips for you? Like you see something, perhaps like a troll at the start of the level, do you just instantly move on, or do you try and look and see if you can get past that one easy enough?
Troll level, I'll usually give at least one try, especially if it's enemy spam, because it's probably not refined all that much. But something that has a 2-minute or more world record and a lot of attempts, that means that's probably really refined, and I'm never going to get it in under 2 minutes. Plus, I'll also probably die. That's immediate. I'm out of there.
Dobbs has a 30-second speedrun, SMB3 variety. Speedruns and expert tend to be, in my observation, pretty solid for this format. But that's a tough jump. And Dobbs has had enough.
The big thing is, are you going to be able to do it in a couple attempts? Because each death adds 10 seconds. So you're probably going to hit that world record. That's probably going to be exactly your time. But then you got to guess how many times you're going to die. That is the risk. Dobbs playing a 1 minute 46-second level.
Germdove playing through.
Germdove playing enemy spam.
Plenty of stars as well, and a Yoshi. Where is the goal? There it is, and that's going to be Germdove. Good level selection is going to be so important here. Knowing you can get through a level like that, that's huge. Again, they
Germdove
come
up by 1 point.
clears wins. Alright, gotta hold a POW block. Oh, a froggy speed run. If you've never seen this tech before, it's kind of interesting. As long as you're running at P speed and holding something, frog suit will run upright.
A world record of 27 seconds. If he can get this without dying, it's going to be a great clear.
That's a big factor about being an expert level speedrun instead of a super expert, is that end game timer is probably a little bit more forgiving. Usually an expert, I see him be anywhere from 3 to as high as 10, but that's not usually that common. Just that much leeway from the timer to a normal run through.
And that's about what you saw there. There's about 2 seconds left on the timer, so it's a good rule. The germdove clearing that on his second attempt. Did he mark that clear?
I think so. It may have been really late.
Now he's up by 1. He wasn't up by 1 before.
Okay. You know, Dobbs just put up another one. Dobbs may have entered his before germdove entered his. That could have been it. But world
No, they're
record
both.
Dobbs.
Nice.
What is with germdove getting the spam levels? He saw the enemy spam, he sees that, he's got to be thinking, what have I done to deserve this? You made it to the final, germdove, that's what you did. Pressure's on. Do you think this is going to be a 1-point race?
Oh gosh, it looks like it. You really don't want to get stuck in a level, and that's something that's like really anxiety-inducing when you're playing. When you die a couple times, like, am I stuck here? It's tempting to move on, even if it's a good level to play, because that can result in just swinging 2-3 points one direction.
Dobbs taking a death with the goal in sight.
Looks like germdove might have found his way out of here. No.
Found a troll pipe. Okay.
The boo.
Takes the time to boo it. He's going to try it again, though. I'm a little surprised. If you knew the route through, that would be one thing.
I wonder what's going through his head right now. You thinking like, maybe I've got a cheese strat here?
Well, that looks
Yep, I think that's what's going on. Free of the troll section.
Yep, that's where he died. Looking
And
good.
looks like he's out of there.
That may have been the intended route for all we know. But he got
You
through
never
it. He
know with a level like that.
still holds that 1-point lead. The
And a world record.
tend to run slightly ahead of us, but I don't look at it too much, lest we get spoiled.
Right.
All right, so this is some kind of tech level going on for Dobbs. Something would have to push you through that bumper. There's plenty of ways to do that, but we weren't seeing it. Kind of an auto-scroller here for germdove, having to wait on that blue platform.
I didn't see the record on this one. This looks like an exploration level, and those tend to be a bit longer.
It does, and there's a lot of red coins, so when you don't know if they're required, that's
And
tough.
that's why you got to look at the world record. If this is like under or around a minute, there's no way all those red coins are required.
Another clear for Dobbs. We're back to tied. This does look like a fun level.
Yeah.
Gotta give it its due. There's a checkpoint, and you know the level has to be beatable from the checkpoint. Okay. I was like, how do you get through there? Because I can't think there's anything you can stand on to get through there. This looks like quite the robust level, but is germdove gonna pay for it in time? On the other hand, if it's a level you're pretty sure you're going to clear, then even 2 minutes invested on a one-shot clear is gonna be worth it. Alright, there's no way red coins are required, based on that checkpoint. Because it would mean you had to have gone back to get the clear, and...
Which is possible.
Is it?
Oh.
There we go.
Definitely not required. Good call on germdove's side.
The positioning of a checkpoint might be your best information on are the red coins required versus a true ending. Because usually, especially with that many red coins, it's more likely to have some kind of infinite checkpoint system if they are required.
Dobbs catching right back up with a 20-second poison mushroom level.
Those were some very impressive jumps to dodge. Earned that clear well.
I'm down to around 8 minutes. Everything tied up.
This looks like a solid SMW speed run for germdove, and he's got another clear to show for it.
You gotta love the one-shot clear.
They are so big in this format.
Looks like Dobbs has a 13-second level.
Yes, that exit's got to be right there. He just has to make that one jump cleaner. I'd absolutely go back into this one. Yeah, that one was just a controlled jump.
Oh.
A little too high. So what's happening is the ceiling is collapsing. If the ceiling wasn't collapsing, the full jump would be right, and he would be fine there. But because it's collapsing, he's got to control the jump, not go as high. But the coin trail does seem to be very accurate until it doesn't exist anymore. And
oh, you hate to see that. You hate to see that.
And he knows what he did because the coins stopped there. The coins told him exactly where to stand, and he didn't listen. Now, they disappear, but if you're paying attention to the coin trail, it told him exactly where to be. And there it is.
Hey, there we go. And we're tied up again.
7 clears with 6 minutes to go is a very great pace to see. Both of our runners are absolutely bringing it here. And another clear for germdove.
Wow.
You could not ask for a much more hyped finals here. You are bringing
I'm on
it.
the edge of my seat.
I mean, look, just however this goes, look back at that fluffy air travel time. 0.1 seconds. And that's a point. And that point probably matters. If Dobbs loses by a point, then that 10th and a half would have forced sudden death. If germdove wins, then he won because of that 2.5 seconds.
So Dobbs has a 13-second level on the left. He's just got to get up there. Looks like this is a speed run. Maybe he's got to do a triple jump to get up there.
Probably.
Comments?
He's got time. There
Yeah,
it is.
He's got it. Back to tied up. Didn't see the time on germdove's side, though.
Imagine that with how much time he had left. germdove being a little cautious there, knowing what this kind of level has been, and he didn't just jump up blind into a dry bones.
Lost the safety mushroom.
So valuable here.
Dobbs with another sub 20-second level.
3D World, not my favorite. I do have a personal bias. I don't like the different controls. There was a Goomba hat up there, which of course turns enemies passive. Doesn't seem to be needed for anything. This is kind of a multi-run speedrun, and there's the goal, but
he
not
knows he can do it.
for Dobbs. He was right at that goal. He needed another 10th.
germdove starting, I didn't see him get it, but he's starting from a checkpoint, so he's definitely made some progress in the level.
A little Yoshi tech here. You want to bounce to the right side of that saw so you get the forward momentum. Gotta optimize your speed here.
Dobbs clearing.
Koopa Kids, they were part of the last major update. Which is your favorite fight?
Probably Wendy. But not 3D World Wendy. With the rings.
A 1-point lead for Dobbs. Can germdove fire back? This looks pretty good. He's got the Yoshi, so worst case he's got the damage boost, but no, he's got it clear, and he's gonna finish this.
Back to tied.
Speedrun for Dobbs. Right now, speedruns are probably your best friend, as long as they're an expert, because the trolley ones are going to be in super expert.
And Dobbs is nailing him. Like, he's getting him in a couple attempts. Like, he's such a great player. Like, you can spend a ton of time on these speedruns and not clear him, but he's just coming up and he's clearing him right away.
I think the biggest factor on that is speedruns have a general rhythm to it. There's certain things that level makers of speedruns like to do. So if you're reading the language that the level is written in, if you're familiar with the kind of text they like to use, it's pretty quick to pick them up blind because generally all speak that same language. How about this kind of throwback to an SMB3 enemy with the piranhas that will float, if you will, the spike balls. So they did an homage to that at the start of this.
Oh, yes. I think they're called patooies.
I believe that.
Dobbs taking the lead, just under 2 minutes to go.
And a Ludwig fight suddenly. Took damage, but that acorn happened to go right through. He couldn't have designed that better.
Oh, Dobbs is up by 2. germdove is going to have to clear this, and he's going to have to get a really quick level right after that. This could be it.
Big. Dobbs pulled this off. It's well earned. Time is up when time is up. So germdove has the clear. He needs like a 30-second speed run here.
Yep. Because the level's going to load in. He's going to have about 45 seconds on whatever level he plays.
What is this next level for germdove? He needs it to be quick or he needs to skip instantly. Japanese text, so we get no information. Short and
oh, gosh.
Tags, not speedrun on the tags. What's the timer? Timer is
2
full.
minutes, not going to happen.
Not enough time.
At this point, he needs like a 5-second tech level, and he needs to one-shot it.
It's a link level. I don't think that's germdove's strong suit. And probably not enough time.
Gonna go for it, maybe try and cheese.
Yeah, just skip the red coins, run right until the level stops you. Why not? You have nothing to lose. He could bomb up there.
And that's gonna be time.
GG.
Oh, Dobbs getting another clear.
Well, that's probably going to help, I think, for germdove, knowing that Dobbs was going to win anyways, despite that last level. All right, let's see about getting our runners an invite here. What goes through your
Congratulations to Dobbs. Sorry, go ahead.
What goes through your mind after all that?
Honestly, for me, like, it's just, I'm just like reeling, like, what just happened? Like, I'm pure in the zone, like, wow. Like, there's so many decisions, so many things that happen, so much like great gameplay, and so much things that I wish that like, would have gone differently. But wow, that was fantastic gameplay. It looks like we got Dobbs and germdove. Congratulations, Dobbs, and very well played, germdove.
Oh, thank you guys so much. GG germdove, a incredible race.
GG Dobbs, that was amazing.
All right, I want to know now that the curtain is pulled back, what happened in phase 1?
I died and got lost a lot. And it was all in the snow helmet level.
You know what?
I
had to figure that was the one.
Yeah. And I was also surprised in phase 1, I took 2-3, and I just found myself getting lost several times. I actually had to go through each room twice because I forgot which one I didn't grab the red coin in, and I still got the world record when I beat it.
You stumbled into that cheese real fast that you could go to the exit of the rooms. Dobbs figured that out like his third time through on the optimization.
Yeah, and being able to get up to that pipe without having to use the platform underneath it, that's something I pretty much only just recently learned. You can get an extra half a tile of height off your jump to be able to get in pipes like that. So I was pretty lucky that I just found that.
Yeah, when I saw your time, I was like, okay, he's doing something. I just don't know what. So I will be interested in going back and watching your route on that to compare it. But yeah, I was a little bit late on figuring it out.
And you fired off such a clear, Dobbs. You actually took record on that level one time without even going through the exits. You just ran it straight and you dominated that level at one point. But honestly, one of my favorite moments of this entire tournament is you two on simultaneous levels knocked 30 seconds off the existing world record. Like that was near simultaneous. So
yeah, that's pretty good.
You both really brought your A game. Dobbs, from beginning to end, what was your reflections on this whole experience?
I mean, from the beginning of the tournament, I was just really excited to kind of get back into the SpeedGaming Mario Maker 2 race, because a lot of these guys that I've been facing up against, we've raced before, and it's really good to kind of reconnect with some people. And then as the race went on, I thought, you know what? Maybe I've got a chance of this. And when we found out germdove was making it to the finals, I was pretty excited for him. I've been hanging out in his stream a lot lately, and he's a good guy. He's a good guy to race against too.
And germdove, how about your reflections on the whole experience to get here?
Oh man, I've enjoyed every moment of it, because playing competitive Mario Maker is one of my favorite things, and I think the SpeedGaming races is the best thing that I've ever found for that. And I'm I'm frankly shocked that I was able to get as far as I have, because we've had really stiff competition the whole way around. It's just been a great group of competitors.
All right, Zero, anything you want to ask the runners?
I'm gonna say congratulations. What do you guys think about the endless? I know from our perspective it was just on the edge of our teeth. We were like, I was digging my nails into my legs, just so anxiety inducing. Were you watching each other? How did that feel?
Endless is always just kind of the wild card for these races. Everything else, kind of gives you an advantage, but it's really a roll of the dice on whether you're going to get good quick levels or slow, agonizing ones. I got pretty lucky with finding a few speed runs in a row. There was one that I had to just skip because I couldn't make it work out in my favor. So that's the biggest part of this race. Sometimes feels like just, hey, are you picking the right levels to play or not?
Yeah, and I wasn't watching Dobbs, but I felt like I was getting incredibly good RNG on. I think I got at least 6 speedrun levels in my endless, and each one of them, it just they'd put it up and I'd knock it down, and it was pretty much just the longer, slower levels that ended up doing me in.
Well, you both gave us a fantastic show to watch. I enjoyed every minute of it. We are going to bring in Feasel, who has a few words to say for our finalists. Again, I'll say GG to Dobbs, our winner of the Mario Maker tournament.
All right. Thanks very much, commentary team. And thank you to the players. I'm really glad that you guys were participating in this. I'm kind of missed our old weekly races, and I love that we were able to get such a cool format out of this that's really worked so well in this tournament. And I'm really happy that you guys were able to do it this time. So I wanted to first of all, officially declare the winners of this tournament. Well, we'll start from runners up. Runners up Owly and Too Good, who made it to the semifinal round. We have second place winner germdove. Congratulations. And of course, our first place winner is Dobbs. So everyone in chat, let's give a GG to Dobbs, winner of our tournament here. But while we're here, I want to also thank the people who donated to make the prize pools that we're giving out for this tournament. Our donors for this one are Letix, germdove, and Anonymous, as well as Shinryu, our gold ticket holder. I want to thank Trenton GL for putting together our pool of levels. I want to thank August 40th for working behind the scenes. I want to thank all of them for commentating, as well as Zero Planes for commentating on this match. I want to thank Dark Moon for making the stream layouts, Draweth for making the perlers that we're giving away. I want to thank Glasses for making the intermission music, Din and the Racetime.gg staff. I want to thank Kat, Jakku, and the crowd control people over at Warp World, our botmaster Sinek, and everybody who has watched, played in, or supported this stream. And with that, that's all I have to say. Let's one more time give congratulations to the top 2 runners of our tournament here, Dobbs and germdove. So, all right, congratulations, guys. That's all I got for you.